Hey, Living Environment fans, it's Monday, so if you're watching this, I assume you survived the weekend. And, oh yeah, let's check on our worms. Worms in here, nice and moist over the weekend, and a lot of them have hustled back under the soil. Some of them are near the surface here. Look at this one little cute pie. All right, so we're gonna use these worms in class coming up. I wonder if they're still irritated by the mustard. All right. Yeah, we're gonna start using them. All right. Hey now. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
It's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. It is Monday, which means it's book talk time. So I had you read a little of The Rise of Life by Bill Bryson from the book, A Short History of Nearly Everything. And the beginning I read with you all had to do with the Miller-Urey experiment. And it showed that you can get proteins, or at least amino acids, to form, even though it's quite unlikely. They happen all the time, this kind of thing, where crystals form and monomers form into polymers and that kind of thing. So that was the first part of it. And then you got kind of like a history of how life rose. What's interesting, I thought, is that whatever prompted life to begin, it happened just once. That is the most extraordinary fact in biology, is perhaps the most extraordinary fact we know. Why do you think that's so extraordinary? And then he talked about stromatolites and old fossils and those kinds of things. And then I guess for our book talk today is, for 2 billion years, bacterial forms were the only forms of life, right? They lived, they reproduced, they swarmed, but they didn't show any particular inclination to move on, right? But then something happened. There was a group of organisms called the cyanobacteria, and they did something that actually wound up being extremely terrible for most of life on Earth, but gave rise to way more complex things. What did the cyanobacteria start to And then finally, I guess, when we get to the very end, you read about what's called mitochondria. Mitochondria, they are the key to life on Earth for us anyway, because they're the parts of our cells that turn food into energy, really. Okay? So what I want you to think, what did they say they thought that where mitochondria may have come from? Those are your book talk questions for today.
Hey, let's spend the rest of the class talking about worms.